Hey, good evening, y'all. Hopefully, everyone's week has gone good. Tonight's topic, I'm put it up right away. That way, you can think about it. And tonight, feel free to input your opinion or your wisdom. Don't be afraid. And I will begin to the chat here in a bit. Welcome in, everyone. What can hobbyists do to impact conservation efforts?
Yes, this is
Great
a
topic.
topic near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. And yeah, TJ is the backbone of this. He's the one that brought this up to us.
Yeah, this
And by
one
the
was mine.
way, y'all, Mariah is having some technical difficulties, so she might come in and join us later. We don't know. Hopefully, but until then, we'll try to lip along.
And Steven asked if it's a change of scenery for me. Yeah, Steven, so I've been in South Carolina all week, where my parents live. So this is a spare bedroom in their house.
Nice. Yeah, it looks good. The only problem, there should be a tank behind you.
There, I can confirm there are no fish tanks in this house.
What are you doing with your life? If you haven't convinced him to have one yet.
I think that ship sailed long time ago. Their vibes.
Okay. I do want to put the first comment in. Volcanics Aquatic Works in her first. Invasion! Joking. How's it going, folks? Hey, welcome in, Volcanics. Um, and for those that don't know, if you want to have your name put up here automatically, come in, be the first one in the chat. That a little shout out to y'all. I know some of my other favorite live streamers in the past have done this. If you want to be shouted out, why not? We got Scar Aquatics in here. Hey, Skull. The reason you beat me here first, if I went live when I wanted to, I would have got here before you were, Skull. You know what I mean? I saw you in chat before. Anyway, it's okay. I just thought I'd rub it in, Skull. Hey, and
Mm-hmm.
tonight, yo, I'm not sleeping.
So basically, what you're saying is you didn't win, but you could have if you wanted to, right? Vibes.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
love it. I love it.
Uh-huh. So, Skull, I think I kind of won behind the scenes. We didn't realize it.
Let's see if Curtis agrees with that.
Welcome in, Shady Grady. You know what? Let's see if Fishhound.link is working tonight, y'all.
Yeah, we got all kinds of great people in here.
Yeah. And I'm afraid I might miss someone if I don't go to the participation list. What? We talking about vibes? Yeah, Fishhound.link is a website, a beautiful website. It has a lot of fish keepers on there, fellow fish keepers and YouTubers. Anyways, there's a list over there of participants. And you know what? I'm gonna go down through it. Wow, yeah. I'm glad I went over here. There's no way me going to read these all off to y'all through the chat. But you know what? Let's see if we can do something a little differently tonight. Shall we?
Maybe.
Okay. Let's see if I can do it. Okay.
You scare me when you go off script, Vibes.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
we got Mechanics, Aquatics, Works here, Skull Aquatics, Shady Grady, Passing Wind, Benjamin Peters, 3G, Stephen P, Outside Aquatics, Wayway, Asaya, Mark Sturleson, Hagen Hill Design, The Nine Aquarium Guy, Craig Catfish Cave, Nancy B, Messi Cali, Fish on the Link, Jeff Kane, Dennis Christensen, Bunny Viper, Zen Ginger, Skating Nona, and Bratton Lightcap. Wow. Wow. Welcome in, y'all. That's a lot.
Thanks everybody for being here. This is great.
Yeah. Oh, the pressure's on now.
No pressure.
Hashtag cake. Oh, I was over there and Foxy live stream earlier listening in, and they were talking about the cookout they had at Foxy's.
Oh yeah. I
I missed that.
saw I think Kenny put up a couple of videos that he was touring. One, at least one that I saw, he toured their all their fish tanks, and
Nice.
really, really good.
Yeah. And Jake, show us a little bit of the event. Hog and Hill Design on
Oh,
the
yeah.
live
Okay.
stream on Monday
Yep.
night. So,
Yep.
no,
Looks like it was a good time,
it looked a lot of fun.
right? Looked like a really good time.
Mm-hmm. Everyone saying hi. Tonight, if you have questions, um, it would be nice if you would put Vibes Aquatics in front of it. It just make it a little easier for me and TJ to catch it. Uh,
Yes, please.
hey, no! Great Catfish Cave! Dude, what?
Thanks, Craig.
Great, thank you. I totally missed that.
5 memberships. That's amazing.
Let's see. Okay. Thanks, Craig. And it's gifted to Benjamin Peters, 3G, Pass and Win, Nathan Hovey, and Nazi B. Hey, welcome in, y'all, to the team. Hey, and for those that are members now, if you haven't got a sticker from me, go ahead and email me your address, and I can send you a Vibes Aquatic sticker. And I might throw some extra stuff in there too as well. So, yeah, I think since you're being a member, y'all deserve an extra perk. And that extra perk is having a sticker, a Vibes Aquatic sticker. So, thanks again, Craig. You're awesome. Welcome in everyone. Okay.
And not to be outdone, one of our other
What
friends from Australia, Mark Sterlson, has given you a $2 Australian super sticker. Thank you, Mark.
Hey, thanks, Mark. And I see the sticker is cool. Hey, I agree, Mark. That Craig Catfish, that's cool. Thanks, Mark. Okay. We do want to hit the topic, y'all. Here in a bit. And we got Skipper's Aquarium showed up, and Jenny P showed up.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Skip said he's prepping for the storm. So the tropical storm that has been here in South Carolina for the last several days, it sounds like it's going up his way. So Skip, I hope all is well and you guys stay safe. I'll check in with you tomorrow when I get back home to Jersey and just make sure everything's okay.
Yeah. Wow. Is it pretty bad hurricane?
Well, yeah, around here, so where my folks live, it ended up being just a ton of rain. But there has been some flooding. And then further south, in Charleston, which is like an hour and 15 minutes south of here, they did have quite a bit more flooding, but that town is more low lying. So it's kind of more common. It's right there on the river. Um, but yeah, it sounds like it just because it's not moving fast. So it goes to an area and it kind of sits and it just dumps rain and some wind and things like that. So,
Right.
and it never, I think it kind of went out to sea and then sort of came back. And so that's, I think, a little bit of a different kind of path than maybe we might think it would usually take. So, he says 8 inches of rain tomorrow. Oh man. Yeah. I think we've probably in the last 4 days or something like that, we've probably got close to that around here. So that's no
Right.
joke.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of rain. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, welcome in, Funk. Hey, by the way, Funk, I appreciated your live stream last night. I enjoyed it. So keep doing what you're doing, Funk. Hey, that's encouragement for you, bro. Don't worry about what people say to you. Which I already know you know that, but there's just some extra encouragement. So
Didi and Jorge Mexicali just popped in, and I already told you this, Vibes, but I'm super excited. Tomorrow I'm gonna go and meet Didi on my way through North Carolina. So I'm super excited to go meet her for breakfast and hang out for a little bit before I continue on my way north.
nice. Yeah, welcome in, George and Didi. Okay. Hey, Peplin, welcome in.
Hey, Brian.
Okay, let's hit the topic before we get too long.
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay. What can hobbyists do to impact conservation efforts? Go ahead.
And I think the answer is a lot, right? I think, Vibes, I think there's all kinds of opportunities for us to impact conservation in all kinds of different ways that I think can have an impact on different elements. And I think I've got a list, like I said, of 9 things that I came up with without thinking too terribly hard. There's probably a lot
Right.
of others that you came up with, because I know you've got a few
Yeah.
things written down, and probably some of the folks in chat will kick in. But
Hey,
um,
TJ, not
yeah.
written down. I got it on my phone.
Oh, you're right. I'm the guy with the note paper. You're right. Vibes. I got fancy this week. I've got sticky
Yep.
notes,
No
and
way.
so it's double sided here. So
Oh,
I got real fancy.
he's
I got
moving up.
real fancy.
He's gonna pass me up.
So you can
Okay,
keep
go
your
ahead.
electronic notes. I'm here with my pen and my paper.
Yeah. No, see, hey, FYI, y'all. The reason I use a phone, I have it with me at my job. So the thing that's throughout the day, I can fill it in.
And you're cooler than I am. There's that, but
Yeah, I know.
eh.
Not. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the first one that I thought of here is supporting organizations that further efforts in habitat conservation, as well as healthy fish collecting industries. I think that those are 2 ways that we can both get involved and help out where it comes to trying to support these organizations that are doing things like, and I think Stephen mentioned it earlier in the chat here, Project Piaba. That's an organization that is heavily involved in trying to ensure a healthy industry of collecting down in places in South America, where there are large populations of fish, tetras, and other sorts of things that are important in our hobby, or are popular in our hobby. And I think one of the impacts that they can have is the people that live in those places, they need to feed their families just like all the rest of us do, right? and
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to do that in a way that is as lucrative as is possible, which again is no different than what we would do. And so
Right.
they've got a choice. They can get involved in things like farming, which clears land. It can have impacts on the local waterways and things like that. Or maybe they can learn proper ways to have a successful business collecting tropical fish for our hobby. And that's what the organization does, amongst, I'm sure, many other things that it gets involved with. But I think just by being involved in those types of organizations, you can help influence people's life choices that directly involve, do they boost up a environment, or do they do things that detract from that ecosystem? And so I think that's one way where it's not difficult. You can get involved in a lot of different ways, and it doesn't always have to be financial, right? I'm sure they can take other
Right.
types of help, and you can do a small part of hopefully a broader thing to to try and make an impact here.
Yes. Welcome in, everyone. Hopefully, you had a wonderful week. And if not, hey, TJ here is going to turn that around for y'all. For those who don't know.
Yeah, it's a team effort. We're gonna do it together. And Jorge, I see your message there. Yeah, I'm gonna get to in another one of my points talk about Arkoff and Doc Awesome. That's another organization that I think is one that's certainly close to all of us here in this community. But yes, I think there's many choices. In fact.
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, and actually breeding fish um, helps with the efforts. Not only does it slow down, and I mean, wild collecting is not all bad, Joe.
Hmm.
But breeding these, especially ones that are going extinct, it's a way to it's helping the conservation effort to bring them back, and to if you keep breeding in tanks, less importing, which keeps the wild species going. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah. I had that as a point as well, to start
Yeah,
a dedicating
I
breeding
do.
project for fish that are endangered or extinct in the wild. Absolutely. You guys know I talk all the time about the white clouds that I've got,
Hmm.
and I just last month took my first group of baby fish to the local club auction, and
Nice.
I'm really excited about that because now there's another hobbyist in our club that has those fish, and I'm hoping that we can multiply the efforts of to trying to breed them and produce them in our aquariums because we don't know what their condition is in the wild. And so, yeah, Steven's absolutely right. I think anytime you can get your hands on a fish that you enjoy and are passionate about, and it's one that's endangered or threatened or
Hmm.
potentially extinct in the wild. Absolutely. I would recommend anybody do it. I enjoy the fish breeding hobby. I have since I was a
Hmm.
little kid, and I started with shell dwellers. You guys know that
Right.
story well. And this to me, it kind of gives it even more of a purpose, right? It's not just for the purpose of, oh, let me see if I can reproduce, fish, and who doesn't like having, baby fish in their aquarium. This is doing that, but also it's trying to make a bigger impact. And so yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I think Steven's 100% correct. That is another one that I think is really, really important.
I do want to welcome small people into the chat.
Yeah.
I see small fish extinct show up. MS Aquascaping, My Fish Tanks Aquatics, and Fish Dreams. Welcome in. Hey,
Hey,
MS
everybody.
Aquascaping, yeah, I've seen you in a while. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay.
It's Friday morning where MS is
Yeah, it
over in
is. Wow.
Singapore. Yep, yep. So we're happy to
Yeah,
have you here. And you said what? Fish Dreams and John. So thanks for
yeah,
coming in, guys. And did you say Small Fish 16? I see.
yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
He does have a question though.
Who's that?
I don't know. Hey,
Oh,
vibes. I
okay.
don't see the join button on my side.
Oh, let me pull you up on my YouTube here.
Yeah. I mean, I can try to figure that out. I mean, it should be work. I don't know.
Mm,
Oh,
I got,
Skull has a comment.
yeah, I got
Close the
nothing.
chat, and you should see it. You know what?
If you are on your phone, close the chat, and you should. Yeah, I don't. I'm on my phone. Chat is closed, and I don't see it at all.
I'm gonna go check it out right now.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all. A little.
Craig said his shrimp arrived on a motorbike. Do they usually drive a car, Craig, or the shrimp? No. Okay.
Um. Yeah. I don't know about that small fish 16. Um.
Okay, I got a sympathy laugh from Craig. Thanks, buddy.
No. In the past, I've always went to join. I always went on my laptop and did it on my main
Yeah, me
page.
too. As a matter of fact.
That's why I usually. Um. So I'm not that good on my phone, y'all. But, hey, hey, y'all. I try to figure it out after the live stream. I try to figure out what's going on, and maybe I can give you a little update or how to do it.
And
Because
welcome in Danny Aquatics.
okay, sorry about that, y'all.
What you got on your
Yeah.
mind, Vibes?
Hey, Dan Aquatics, welcome in. Um, Sharing knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just here. Okay, since we're a hobbyist, using YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, um, X as a platform, we can share our knowledge out with
Mm-hmm.
fellow hobbyists, not only about how to do aquariums, but also our knowledge about the environment where these pieces come from.
Mm-hmm.
Which basically it grows, yeah, the effort.
Yeah.
And if you learn to do public speaking at events, not even Akushella or Keystone Clash. I'm talking like small club events.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's clubs going up regularly. I don't know about your area, but around here, there's clubs going up regularly, and they're always looking for speakers. So if you have the knowledge and not, and if you want to share it with the, it's a great way. But if you take that route, social media, everybody has it. Okay, the majority of people have social media.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and share it out with your local school. It's a great way to do it.
Yeah. School, could be like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts.
Yep.
Could be local like 4-H clubs or any of those kinds of things. I think are good. Yeah, I had here engage in healthy discussion to share facts, your own
Yes.
actions, and recommendations to others. I think this is
Yep.
one of the ones that we often bump into around, healthy discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy for people to get on a soapbox and their way's the only way, and I am not about that at all, right? I think like I said, I didn't try that hard, and I got 9 things that I wrote down, which are different ways that people could impact conservation efforts, and I think
Right.
they're all valid, and they may all be a person that would gravitate towards one of the 9, and they're no
Mm-hmm.
more right than any of the other people. And so,
Right.
I think that that's important to be able to share, again, factual information. What have you done? What's worked for you? What are the areas that you're passionate about? What do you think are the most, um, what is your research telling you is kind of the most important things for us to focus on, and give people recommendations on how they can get involved too.
Right. Another way is now this is a little bit maybe outside the box, but you know
Hmm.
what? If you're out collecting in the wild, for
Hmm.
instance, instead of using your bare hands to move the fish,
Hmm.
you use a soft net or wear gloves that are clean and wet from the environment where the fish come from.
Okay.
That way, you're not affecting the slime coat on the fish
Oh,
because
okay.
that fish, if you're collecting a fish to take it and bring it to the aquarium hobby, you
Mhm,
might be affecting its life, shortening its life a lot. Or if you're releasing that fish back into the environment,
mhm.
that the skin coat, that slime coat has been damaged. So it's either short their life or they get sick and they'll die. So if you're trying to help and make a big impact on the conservation side, that's
Mhm.
a great way to start.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, back when hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Back when I started in the hobby, I didn't know about I was ignorant, right? So yeah, bare hands, I did it all the time, right? But if we can, as hobbyists that do regular content or sharing, it's a great way to share out about that. I mean, if we can slow down the death of the fish, that way the offspring can pass the genes on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, so I think it's about taking care of the life, in this case, that you're collecting, and just using a little extra precaution, whatever that happens to be, right?
And here's some encouragement. If you're hearing this tonight, I'm encouraging you to dig deeper, look into what we're saying, and don't take it as the truth. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
And also, if you're sharing this knowledge or what you heard from us or in the chat or someone else to another person, especially those that have been doing it for 40 years, 50 years, whatever they're doing in the hobby, be careful how you relate this information to them, because some of this information that we're talking about now is a new idea.
mhm.
So some of these I've learned from the grandparents. So basically encourage them to change how they're doing it, but not in a way to say that the way they've been doing it for all this time is totally wrong. It,
Mhm.
there's a good chance that they're not going to accept it very easy if they've been doing it for 40 years. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And I think in my mind that also goes to the idea of educating yourself.
Yes.
right? This is a topic that is multifaceted. Um, it's not one that is necessarily cut and dry. I think the fact that it has application globally,
Mm-hmm.
meaning our country and many, 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 if not all of the others around the world, um, is, I think is something that it has there's a lot of weight to it. And I think we need to make sure that if it's something that we're passionate about and we want to make a difference, then we have to educate ourselves. And so I think it's finding sources that you trust in that have information that they share. You've brought up some of them already. We
Mm-hmm.
both have, right? So I think
Right.
organizations like Project Piaba, you can go and learn from
Yes.
them. You can go and learn from uh, other specific groups that are trying to do conservation efforts, right? So there are many different groups out there that are targeting either a specific type of fish or a specific type of location, and they will share information. You can look in fish magazines, right? So I think they often have articles in the various fish publications that are out there, some books and things like that. So take the time to do the research and develop your own opinion on it. And I think you're right to caution people that you and I share our opinions, and
Yeah.
Mariah, right? And we believe that it's based on our experiences, and I think we try and stay away from a lot of speculation. But still, trust but verify. I think it's something that you may have a different you may have a different opinion, and we'd love to hear it, right? So if you go and you do some research and you think we're all wrong, come back and tell us. But this is something that I think is there's room for all of us to get involved and to have our own opinions on how things work, and to support it in the best way we know how.
Hey, welcome in, Garcia.
Hey, Berto.
And hey, y'all. Um, Mariah just texted me and said, "Hey, to send her love to y'all." So,
Yeah, she's having internet issues, and
right,
so they're probably not going to get it fixed in time.
no,
That's all right. She'll be
and,
back with us
and
next week.
oh yeah, there's some good comments in the chat, y'all. Really
Yeah,
good ones.
go through some of those if you'd like.
Yeah, Mechanics Aquatics Works is trying to stop breeding neon tetra because of how weak the bloodline is. That is a great way to conserve for conservation. It to make the weaker genes, the bloodlines. Let's strengthen it. Come on, we got the wisdom, we got the knowledge. Let's strengthen the bloodlines that are so weak in the big box stores. Yeah, and even the endlers. Yes, keep it pure. Yeah. Stephen
Nice.
Ping said, learn as many nuisances as the hobby as you
Mhm.
can. Yes, learn it and share it out. Scary Nona. When I corrected, I would turn the net to a white pocket bucket to look at what was in the net. Instead of laying the net on the ground, yes, and scoop what I wanted to the specimen trainer. Yeah. Um, why? That's what similar to what I do. What I like doing with my net, even my big dip net. I take a pass instead of bringing the net up out of the water, like a lot of people would do. I let the net in the water was clear, and then look at what's in the net before I release them. The ones I don't want, I release. The ones I do, I they're still underwater yet, y'all. They still got in my hand, scoop them out. I'll either take another net, and I'll do this whole project underwater if possible,
Mhm.
and basically move them from the water, the net, into a container. And that way, they're not really the the stun code is going to get damaged either way, but the less handling, the better. So yeah, thanks, Gary Nona, for that. Okay, back to chat.
Brian says, "Look at that cute puppy. Look at it."
It's talking about me.
No, he was talking about Nona's logo.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cute. Okay. You got some more information for us?
Oh, yeah. So we talked about starting a dedicated breeding project for something that, a type of fish that you're interested in, and is, endangered or extinct in the wild. But also, um, you should also keep fish. So if say you're not a breeder, it's
Mm-hmm.
just something you don't enjoy doing, right? You don't enjoy breeding fish. Keep fish that are, endangered or extinct, right? Because,
Yes.
you know, the people that are breeding them in their aquariums, it's a passion project. It's something they want to do. But at some point, um, we all need somewhere for those fish to go.
Right.
Otherwise, you just continue to amass your own population. So if for some reason, hey, I just like looking at fish, then great. Why don't you think about doing some setups that involve fish like that so that you can find someone who's breeding them, give them a place to go, and who knows, maybe in the process of keeping them, you'll decide, hey, listen, maybe I want to try my hand at this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's part of it is, I think it's been successful. We've seen there's been articles written about how some universities or different organizations have worked with governments and they've reintroduced fish. I believe Goodyear's in Mexico,
Yes.
I think, have been successful on occasion. That's not going to be true all over the world. In some cases, the governments are not going to be interested, or there aren't going to be big enough organizations, depending on what type of fish it is and things like that. And so, we're not necessarily breeding them with the idea of that they will be reintroduced. It's that we're breeding them with the idea that we don't want to lose the species at all. And so that's where we are hoping that in that case, at minimum, they'll become more popular and that people will want to keep them. And so that way it kind of it allows us to keep those populations going in our aquariums, hopefully in much larger numbers than what has been currently.
Yes. Yes. Okay. No. No. I agree with you 100%. I cringe when people lay the net on the ground and pick through the nets with their hands. Yes. But you
Mm,
know what? That's why we're, as a hobbyist, encouraged to share our knowledge with those that don't realize it. Hey,
hmm.
I did the same thing back when I got into the hobby. I had no idea what I was doing.
Sure.
I was delinquent. Hey, vibes. That's even better. Too many alligators where I was catching to be in the water. Hey,
Ooh.
that's scary, now. So
Yep.
yeah, what you can do. I mean, I'm not gonna criticize y'all if you take a net, catch a fish, and carry it from the water and put it in a bucket of water from the same water, and then look at them that way, which is actually a great idea, especially where if you're in Florida. Actually, I can encourage you to do that. Don't stand in the water looking at the fish. You're just asking for trouble.
Where you guys live, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, Now here in Texas, Central Texas, there ain't that many alligators around, if
Oh, okay.
any. So
Lots of snakes.
a lot of snakes.
Yeah.
Um, I've only seen a handful of snakes in the wild since I've been out collecting, which is weird.
Oh,
Um,
not as many as I would have thought.
right. I figure I'll see a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but maybe when I'm out collecting, maybe it's just a long time of the day. I could be
Oh, yeah. So like if it's too hot,
right.
they're like
The-
hiding, just trying to stay cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Um,
Makes sense.
but hey, I ain't complaining. I don't want. I really don't want to see them.
Well, no, not some of the ones you've got down there. Like if
Yes.
they're harmless, hey, that's like a garter snake or something like that,
Right.
fine. But you don't need to see like a rattlesnake or anything like that and accidentally step on it. I'm sure
Ugh.
they don't like come after you, but if you end up stepping on one, that's probably a bad day for
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
So, and that's also encouragement. If you're if you want to go collecting, and you're afraid to go out barefoot, get some water shoes or some boots and do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It puts a little more. I know it doesn't do much protection, but it's a little more. There's something between you and that snake or whatever, in the bottom of the lake, river.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Just a little
oh
protection of some sort, right?
yes, and another one, making sustainable choices.
Okay. Say more. What you got in mind for that one? That one, I think you go a lot of different places, right?
Oh yeah, this is a broad uh, topic, a very broad one. Instead of going to the fish store,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't telling you not to do it, but instead of going to the fish store, if you can, go local where it's not hurting the environment, but also it's getting you. First thing, it's getting you out of the house. It's getting you into nature. That way, you can learn more about nature instead of
Mm-hmm.
going to the fish store and buying a bag of gravel or sand, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Which, depending on where you're at, that's probably the only availability you have. But if you have availability to go out collecting gravel, sand, whatever, it's a better choice. It Now I ain't telling you to go out and get a big truckload full of gravel and bring it home. But
Okay. So don't fill up the back of your truck.
right, right,
Okay. That's probably how the local authorities come find you.
yes, yes. Another way is to if you're gonna buy fish or coral or plants, buy it from a local breeder, a
Mm-hmm.
local grower, instead of buying from overseas or whatever. Now, overseas, I mean, you're helping the environment per se, helping the conservation, but why not try to make it the local first?
Mm-hmm.
Because now I do agree supporting the online fish and coral all that. You are supporting someone's family.
For sure.
I do agree with that. Hey, everybody has to make a living. So some locations, it's all that they do have to make a living. So I tend to try to quit doing it.
Yeah, I think it's a balance, right? I think it's to try and find the areas that what are the things that maybe you can only get wild caught that you happen to
Right.
like. That's great because again, that supports those
Mm-hmm.
folks that are the I guess they're considered fishermen. I don't think
Right.
of them that way because I usually think of those as people that either like are out there fishing for fun or they're catching them for food. But um, the people that are out there collecting in some of these remote areas, they
Mm-hmm.
that becomes a sustainable industry for them that
Yeah.
that they can use to sustain their families, right? And
Yeah.
so um, find where you can do things like that. Find where you can support the local local breeders, local hobbyists, and um, kind of support the local economy as well. And yeah, I think lots of different buying decisions. The other thing so I am one where I am a heavy user of peanut butter. I have a smoothie
Mm-hmm.
every morning. That's my breakfast, and it's been like that for years. And one of the ingredients is peanut butter. And
Ooh.
s- and so I listened to a podcast called the Watercolors Aquarium Gallery podcast.
Okay.
Watercolors is a fish store in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the guy that owns the store and two of the people that have worked for him, they do this podcast and they put out one a month or maybe a little bit more than that. I don't exactly know, but they will often talk about different types of conservation things. And I think in one of their episodes they talked about palm oil, palm plantations.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and apparently where those things are common is in areas, I think it's in like Borneo and places like that, which is habitat for um, the chocolate gouramis.
Uh huh.
and they talked about how the clearing of the land impacts the habitat where they live, as well as orangutans, the primates. And so for me, one small thing that I do, and I know I'm one person out of, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, um, that that buy peanut butter, right? But I'm doing my small part is to try and buy peanut butter that doesn't have palm oil in it.
Yes.
Right, to try and limit my usage of palm oil. It's hard to get away from it because it is
Oh
in
yeah.
so many darn things, but that's one area where I know I'm a heavy user, and so I try to make sure that what I buy from a peanut butter perspective is usually just peanut butter and not a whole heck of a lot else, or just peanuts that they grind up and not a whole lot
Right.
else. Um, is Jif okay? I'd
No,
have
it
to
isn't.
look at the label, Steven. I often find that most of them are not. I usually end up buying like some sort of an organic that is usually just peanuts is all it
Since
is
you
the
mentioned
ingredient.
it,
Yep.
I'm gonna grab my peanut butter jar.
Okay, and see what's on it. Yeah, yeah. And Dee Dee asked, she's like, hadn't made a peanut butter smoothie. Yeah, every morning I make one of those, Dee Dee. It's an easy breakfast for me, especially with me being in the office 3 days a week. I can make it, ahead, and it's ready in the fridge in the morning. Very simple. It's one banana. It is, call it 2 tablespoons of non-fat Greek yogurt, and a tablespoon of peanut butter of choice. And then I fill up the rest of the small little blender thing with that is like I use oat milk or almond milk. You can use kind of anything you want that way. Super easy recipe, and so far I haven't gotten tired of it. So uh, Steven says you gotta get the stuff that's half liquid. Yeah, like so the natural peanut butter that does have like it separates, but the
Mhm.
trick is you stir it, and then if you keep it in the refrigerator, it doesn't separate again.
Right. Hey,
That's the
welcome
trick.
in, Raz and Fishies and some fish with fish. Welcome in, y'all. Okay. I grabbed 3 different brands. The reason I'm grabbing these, this is Peter Pan.
Okay.
It says
Normal
natural
name
on the front,
brand.
right?
Yep.
It says natural.
Yep.
It says don't need to stir, right? Sounds legit, right?
Does sound
Natural.
legit. Yep. However,
However,
mm-hmm.
ingredients: peanuts, sugar, palm oil,
Yep.
salt.
Yep.
Even though it sounds good,
Mm-hmm.
check what it is. Or you go with the cheap brand, HB brand,
Yep.
which is
That's just a local store brand.
yeah,
Yep.
peanuts, cane sugar, palm oil,
Yep.
and this is what I used to buy until someone brought to my realization about that. Okay, of course I have to show you the other one too. You know what I mean? I
Ah.
can't show you what has palm oil and what I gotta show you what doesn't. Smokers actually has one. See that? It's a
Yep.
name brand.
Yep.
Numbers. And this would be peanut butter.
Yep.
Ingredients: peanuts and 1% or less of salt. That's it.
Yep. So I've bought that brand before. So
You can see
so yep,
it is separated.
it is. If you
Yeah,
keep it in the fridge though, it won't.
but it doesn't affect. It don't bother me.
No.
I don't
You can
mind
stir
that.
it up.
I stir it and use it.
Yep.
So
But hey, that's my thing, right? I'm not here to tell anybody else that that's
no,
something you got to do, but it's just something that I know I use a heavy volume of, and it's one where
yes,
I'm one person that can try and make a difference, right? And so I'd
yeah.
encourage you all to think about um, if there's something like that you can do, and to try and impact in a positive way, it's one step closer.
Hey y'all. Now since I've been touching the peanut butter jars,
Your hands smell lovely.
it's kind of a simple a peanut butter jelly sandwich. It's kind
Oh
of weird.
boy.
Right? I think it might be my supper for tonight. Woo! Thank you, Jay,
Woohoo.
for bringing that up to my taste bud. I never
Nice.
thought about that. I haven't had that in a long time. So maybe I'll have it tonight after the live stream. I got peanut butter. I got jelly, homemade apple butter, which I could use. I could go that route. Anyhow, that's a food topic.
Yeah.
But
Steve, go ahead. Sorry.
That is a good point, though. Use if you can. Now, I'm not telling you to go break your bank using items that you can't afford.
Right.
But if you can afford it, definitely do it.
Yeah, and just find the little ways that you can make a difference. I think, like I said, is the big thing. And Steven says that Matt introduced him to the Watercolors podcast. Yeah, it's definitely science based. There's no gimmicks. It's not right. They are all, I believe, they all are of different scientific backgrounds in addition to being fish hobbyists. And they oftentimes will bring that science into their podcast. So it's one that I really like. On my 12-ish hour drive home to New Jersey tomorrow, I'll be taking in quite a bit of the back episodes that I have yet to listen to of them. So it's one to check out if you're a podcast listener at the gym or on your commute or whatever. I recommend them. I think they're really, really good.
Watercolors Aquarium Gallery
podcast.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
I just put it on my phone. Otherwise, I'm afraid it's not going to happen. So thank you, TJ and Steven and Zen. There you go.
Ah, look at that. Okay.
Zen's on roll tonight.
Thanks, Zen.
Even though we all love food, I don't want to rest on that too long, y'all.
Nope, that's okay. Yeah, we're starting to make people hungry here. That's dangerous.
Right. And y'all, hey, moderators, if you don't mind throwing out my link for the food channel, there is some stuff happening here after a while on that channel about food content. Nice. I got some people lined up to join me over there.
You got some people lined up.
Yes.
Woo.
Yeah.
Cool.
And some of y'all are going to recognize the people I have lined up. So stay tuned for that.
Nice. Look at you branching out.
I mean, you got to. I mean, you guys share. You got to have an impact on conservation. Conservation is more than just fish.
Sure.
Frogs, turtles, snakes. It's more than just that. It's like he even mentioned some of it. The palm oil. It's food. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow.
Oh, Dee Dee's asking me a question. Are we still on for breakfast? You better believe it, Dee Dee. I'm leaving. I'll leave the beach here at 6 tomorrow morning, and I'll see you at 9 o'clock at our usual meeting spot up there by you. I'm super excited.
All right, Nancy B. All right.
Number one things to do with cottage cheese.
I like it, Nancy. I like it. Hey, Nancy, I like this, but I wasn't going to stick around food for too long.
I think that you got to give the people what they want. Right.
Yeah, I know.
You've got a food channel now. I think you've got to come up with 101 recipes that will blow people's minds using cottage cheese as one of the ingredients.
Yeah.
Then again, you are a cottage cheese enthusiast. I would have figured that challenge would invigorate you. I'm not feeling it right now, though.
No, you're not. Hey, and also, you already know, my focus right now is most of it is on the fish side right now. The food stuff has been put in the back burner. But yeah. Welcome in, Joey. How are you this evening? Hope you're doing okay. I'm late. What I miss? If you don't know, Joey, you can go watch the replay.
Almost an hour of us two jabbering.
Exactly. That ain't much.
Well, now come on.
I'm talking about myself, y'all.
Don't undersell it. Oh, okay. Outside In is here too.
Hey, Outside In!
Yep.
Hey, by the way, Outside In, I enjoyed your content at Aquashella. I enjoyed that. Even though I missed not being there, that kind of covered some of that wound.
Mm.
Anyways,
And
you got
RB3 George is here.
hey George, obviously welcome in.
And I
So you
think
got
Jenna
your
was here before, but I see her just popping up in
hey
chat again.
Jenna, you got any more for us on your list?
Uh, yeah, let's see what else we've got here. Slightly different to my first point. Participate in organizations designed for conservation efforts, like CARES. Great organization to be able to go to. They've got the list, and they're not an all-inclusive list, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
other fish that they haven't studied or put on their lists at this point, uh, but they do have a nice library of fish that are out there that are in these various stages of endangered or potentially extinct in the wild. Great resource to go there to see what is out there and see what maybe you can get your hands on if you are someone who wants to start to do some breeding projects. Other organizations that are out there, I think this one I think probably will resonate with Curtis is the Goodyear Working Group.
Mm-hmm.
Another person that I know that talks about that quite a bit is Mike Howe from Fish Tank Barn. He
Mm-hmm.
is another guy that I know that is a very interested in Goodeids and keeps a number of species. And those are great places to be able to go to learn from other hobbyists, kind of what we've talked about, to be able to share information, to be able to, and I think it's really important the point that you brought up around, yes, we want to collect information from other people, but we also need to share it, because if people aren't willing to share it, those organizations fall apart. At some point, um, at some point, if nobody's willing to share, the information flow is going to stop, and so it's important to put yourself out there, share what's worked for you, share what hasn't worked for you, to try and improve things for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly for the species of fish that you're trying to improve. So I think a big piece of what we've talked about tonight is to get involved,
Yes,
to come together with other people that are like-minded, that have a interest, that have an interest in what it is that you're interested in, a specific type of fish or a specific type of country where you want to focus your efforts on fish that come from that area, and make sure that you're actively involved in that part of the hobby.
I like it. I like it. And welcome in Henry. How are you this evening? Another big one is being aware on the impact you do have on the environment.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
And while you're at it, try to encourage other hobbyists that even though that they might be not hurting the environment, just be aware, and encourage others when moving something from the wild. Don't remove the whole population. Go in and catch a couple, take them home, and try to breed them in your aquarium
Hmm.
instead.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you bring up a really interesting point around our impact.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really common for people in general, right? And I think this is just sort of can be a lot of human nature. Is you look at other people, right? What are other people doing to impact it? What are governments in other countries looking, doing to impact
Mm-hmm.
their environments? And I think again, I'll go back to the watercolors podcast, the Aquarium Gallery
Mm-hmm.
podcast. They're quick to say, they'll talk about fish from Asia or Africa or all these other places where they're developing nations. And they will then stop and they will say, let's be clear, everybody, we've already done it in the United States, right? We have
Right.
already industrialized and impacted our local waterways in some places. And so, it's not just an issue of other countries, it's an issue in our country as well. And so that's where I think it's easy for us to sort of look, across borders and say, oh, look what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got to be willing to do that as well, and understand, are there things that we do that are impacting, right?
Hmm.
So, if you're someone like me that likes to work on your car, make sure that you're not dumping fluids
Yes.
right down your driveway and into your gutters, and right, I collect all of the fluids when I change oil or different things, and I get them recycled.
Right.
And so I'm lucky in New Jersey where I live. The auto parts stores collect oil, and
Hmm.
so you just go and you dump it off, and then a company comes and collects it and pumps out their tanks every so often. And they're a company that's meant to do whatever the recycling process is for oil. My hope is that they're not just dumping it somewhere themselves, but I'm making sure that when it leaves my hands, it's not going into a place that it's not supposed to. And
Right.
so I think it's really important, in your day-to-day life, that you're just thinking about things like that.
Yes. Hey, welcome in, New Local Austin. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Mike, thanks for joining us.
My local brother.
Yeah.
We see each other once in a blue moon, y'all. For those who don't
it-
know, I'm telling you that we don't see each other very often.
but you live not that far apart, or do you?
Like 20 minutes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, the reason we don't see each other a lot because our schedule is totally different. He works at night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I'm ready to party, he's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he's working. And when he's on a party, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that makes it hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is hard. Now we do occasionally on weekends, like on Sunday or Mondays, occasionally, like once, it goes months we meet up. But
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
yeah,
I like Zen's comment. She says it's kind of messed up to live in the civilized world and to point fingers at the areas with the last remaining natural landscape we have left and tell them they're the problem. Yeah,
yes,
but it's all too common, right? And so that's why I think
mhm,
Vibes, your comment on that was really important for people, just to kind of take a little bit of a look at what they're doing and what they've got going on, and to try and make sure that they're minimizing, and you may not even be thinking about it, right? You could be doing something every day of your life,
mhm,
and not even realizing that you're having some sort of an impact. And with a small change, it does
right,
make a difference, right? I think it's very easy to say, yeah, but I'm just one of hundreds or thousands or million, whatever it is. Um, but at least you're making a difference. And then
right,
again, like we've said, talk about it.
mhm,
Tell other people how they could do it differently and how easy it was for you. And you may get a percentage of those people that actually listen to you. So you've got the ability to make some change there, just by leading by example and by talking about what it is that you're doing.
yes. Um, hashtag no, I don't know. And also y'all, and TJ talked on a lot about it. Talk about it, share it with, especially those that are not as informed about it. When you do have a aquarium fish, don't add it to a natural resource
Yes.
because that can make a big impact on the conservation of that area. You can totally destroy it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I had
I,
that written down here too. I had
I did
ensure
like
proper keeping of potentially invasive plants and animals.
mm-hmm. And okay, it's still on that topic a little bit.
Hmm.
And if you do remove something from a natural environment, don't put them back in that same environment. If you remove them, took them home and put them in your tank,
Yep.
and you had them for what, a year, don't take it and release it back into the environment
Mm-hmm.
because whatever you have added to that fish or plant or whatever can affect whatever a chemical that um, say if you got your plant from the wild or whatever you put in your aquarium, and then you might add some other stuff in the fish store or from another hobbyist. Now
Mm-hmm.
all that bacteria, don't take that and put it back in the wild. even though the first ones might originally come from the wild, don't,
Hmm.
because you'd be you're hurting the environment.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, right? I mean they could catch, say you put them in with other fish. I mean, I
Right.
don't know how. I'm not a scientist. You guys know
Hmm.
that, right?
Right.
But the where my mind goes is you bring a fish from your local waterway and you put them with other fish.
Hmm.
Say that magically worked out. They could live in the same aquarium, and they get a disease, a parasite or bacteria or whatever that they would not normally come in contact with.
Hmm.
And then you take them and you
Right.
put them back out into the wild. Yeah, I mean, I could see how that if it's something that could be contagious amongst fish, you could very unintentionally end up impacting that population and giving them
Hmm.
something that they're not naturally built up some sort of an immunity to. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's that. I think it's plants, right? So be really
Hmm.
careful with how you dispose of plants that you're not keeping in your aquarium. Say you're doing cuttings,
Right.
make sure that you're throwing them away if you're not giving them to somebody else, or you're
Yes.
not putting them in another one of your aquariums. Make sure they're not going to find their way into the pond in your neighborhood or something like that.
Right.
Or again, that you end up putting them into the waterway. They get washed down the drain, or
Yes.
you don't know what the impact of that might be. So yeah,
Right.
I think it's really important that we all have a sense of responsibility for the fish and the plants and the various aquatic animals that we keep, to make sure that we're not doing something where we're going to introduce, could be a predator that wipes out native fish, or it could be something that just throws off the balance. Say it ends up becoming a new food source for fish that exist, and all of a sudden their populations explode and it throws
Yeah.
things out of whack. Again, I think we're talking kind of really worst case scenarios,
Right.
but they're real, right? They are
Hmm.
very real. If we look at in some of the places in the country, like I think even you find tropical fish in some of your collecting, that
Yes.
should not be native to Texas, and now they are.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Uh, Now I do like Scary Nona's comment. Try to use less plastic. Yeah. Try to be aware on in your footprint. I don't like to say very much the carbon footprint. I mean, it is real, but basically, be aware. Do your part. I'm not telling you to go out and boycott something or yeah. I can't say too much because I use plastic regularly, but dispose it properly. Don't throw it out the window when you're driving. If you can, either put it in the trash and get disposed properly, or now if you're out in the middle of nowhere, go ahead and burn it or milk it down or whatever you need to do. But because that can affect not just the water but also the land.
Well, and I think you accidentally stumbled on another one. I would expect we don't have to tell this population, but we do have a lot of people that end up watching, and so if we've
Yeah.
got folks that maybe aren't as familiar with the topic, make sure you're not dumping stuff.
Yes.
Right? Because again, you're a guy who goes collecting, right? I go out, for hikes sometimes in different parts of the woods. And how often do you come across garbage where
Oh,
obviously a
all the
human
time.
was right, a human was there.
Yes.
And I think my kind of way of thinking about it is nobody should know we were ever there.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
Nobody should ever know that you were that. Now, granted, you're going to walk on a trail, you're going to leave a footprint, right? So,
Right.
don't take it to the total end extreme, but in general, you shouldn't leave a sign other than
Right.
that you have been in that location. And so, making sure that you're not throwing all sorts of trash and things that could impact. At best case, they make it look terrible, and at worst case, they have a terrible impact on that environment. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important. So that was one that I didn't write down, but it made me think of it when you said that.
Right. Hey, welcome in, Sal. Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Sal.
Sal.
Spend time with your wife is more important than spending time with us.
Yep, absolutely. We'll be here. We'll be here on replay when you're ready for us.
Yeah. If it's in the middle of the night, or if you never, hey, don't feel bad about not watching it. And if you, hey, this is for those that can't legally collect in your area. I'm talking about collecting fish. If you can't legally collect them, there's something that you can do. Go out collecting anyways, but instead of fish, collect trash.
Oh, yep. And you can get involved in local groups that do cleanup days.
Mm-hmm. And while you're out there, you're also enjoying the environment. You can look at the fish, the plants. You know, you can enjoy them. You can, even though you're not collecting them, those things, you can still enjoy it.
And you're giving back, which
Yeah.
who among us doesn't like the feeling of making an impact on something or someone,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. My good friend brought it to my attention. This is something that I knew back in my mind about collecting trash. But for those that know what I'm talking about Emily, Gem Aquatics from Australia. Over there, it's hard to collect fish and plants in the wild. But hey, the reason that brought even to her attention was the topic a while back. Was it last Saturday? Oh, whatever. Was about collecting in the wild. So that brought to her attention to go out, check the waterways.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was there, she was collecting junk. So trash.
Yep. I think that's really, really good. I had one that was similar that said, keep and breed fish native to you legally.
Yes.
Very clear. You need to do it legally. But like our good friend ABC,
Mm-hmm.
Aquatic Biotope Creations Kenny,
Yep.
he does, I believe, darn near exclusively native fish that he's allowed to
Right.
keep in his location in New York State. And really cool, right? He's been
Yes.
breeding darters and the shiners and all sorts of different things that he's keeping there. And I think again, going back to our comment around how we always think it's sort of other places in the world, we in the United States are impacted by these same things as well. And so it's important that where you can legally do it, you consider, are there native fish that you might want to keep? Things that
Yes.
again are something that you have a passion about for some reason. You think they're pretty, or maybe they're from your local area, like local to you, very local, and it's something you're passionate about. Then set up something that you can do to keep them, and maybe also be able to breed them as well. I think that's another way that you can really positively impact things.
Mm-hmm.
I like Steven's comment. Pro tip: use food to lure a bear to follow you through the woods so the bear covers up your footprints.
I like it.
Yeah, that would definitely make sure that there's no sign of you. Now, gone too far, there may not be a sign of you ever again, but
Hey, you're covering your footprint. I mean,
the price you pay, right?
Hmm?
The price you pay.
Yeah, true. But hopefully, everyone in the chat, those watching replay, understands that about covering your footprint.
Yeah.
Just being aware of your environment.
Jesse's here. Sally.
Hey, Jesse. And now, there's people that came in that I will not mention their name, but I do want to do it now.
Go
You
for
got J Rock, Lumpy Dog, Melvin, and Jesse. Welcome in, y'all.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
All right. Was there any comments in the chat that I missed?
I'm gonna go back through. You start. It looks like 9 things.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a look.
And those already got all those already.
We went through all of them already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, y'all. I'm sorry if I missed your comment or question. That's not my plan or my intention. But
hey, Foxy's here. Thanks for joining us.
Foxy. Hashtag cake. I love cake. Uh,
Skull has a good recommendation here. Contact your local fish and game.
yes.
They'll tell you what you can do. Yep.
Hmm.
They'll make sure that you stay on the right side of the law there.
Right. And what's really since you're talking about the local, um, local area for your. Hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah, your local game warden.
Mm-hmm.
If you can become friends with them, get to know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because and tell them if possible, be willing to volunteer to help out. We have the need. They're always looking for volunteers, y'all, to help out in nature.
Mm-hmm.
A while back, I had some time. I had a little bit of time, and they had a little bit of time. So we actually sat down and talked for a while. I don't know, it was a couple of hours we talked, and I got to learn just things that the average person doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I take it back. Maybe I'm not that average person. I don't know, but things that I learned that I didn't know about before. I spent time with them, which is awesome.
Well, I would think it's because you showed an interest, right? I think it's a topic that they are probably equally passionate to you
Hmm.
about. And the average person, I think you're right, is probably not focused on it.
Right.
And so when they find someone who is, I think it does kind of make them say, "Hey, wait a second, let's invest some time in that." Um, I think the other thing that you can do is related to fish and game. It may or may not be connected, but in a lot of states they have hatcheries for
Yes.
local fish, right, where they want to continue to build up the
Hmm.
populations, and so you can you can probably volunteer to go help them maybe. You can also find out from them if there are ways that you can help in their raising of the fish. Maybe you've got a pond and they would want you to take some to continue to breed them and bring them all sorts of things. I think there's many ways in which we can get involved, and don't limit yourself. If you think there's an idea, check it out and see if it's something that might be helpful. They may be looking for someone to do exactly what you're talking about and didn't think there was anybody interested.
Yes. Yeah. Skull has good point. He said that Fishing Game and Humane Society has his number in case they have a question or a fish that needs help. Yes.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So if you feel like now, I'm telling y'all, if you're a little child, if you're under 20, under 18,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about, I'm really up to you, but um, have your parents, okay, before you move on with that. But yeah, if possible, yeah, give your number to them and tell them if they need help or get questions.
Mm-hmm.
Call you, text you. Yes, that's a good point, Skull.
Yeah.
Because hey, just because someone's in the fishing game or game warden does not mean that they know they have all the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They're human just like we are, and sometimes there's something that comes up that they don't know about. So
Yep.
maybe you as a hobbyist, you buy the answer for them.
Yep. Yep. We've also been joined by ATF Mike. Hey, Mike, thanks for
Hey,
joining us.
Mike,
It's good to see
welcome
you.
in.
And Alex, and I want to
Alex,
brag a little bit about Alex.
go
Have
ahead,
you
do it.
seen Alex's recent video about the new AquaClear filter?
Yeah, um, his videos makes you think that you got to have this item. If you don't have it, I mean, you're losing out in the hobby.
What stood out to you about the video overall? Right? Because I left a comment on that video and I was unbelievably impressed. I just, what was your? I'll tell you what stood out to me, but I'm curious what stood out to you.
Uh, which video? I mean, the last one that they put out.
It's the last one I saw. I don't know that it's the last one he put out, but it
Hold
was the
on.
one about the AquaClear. He had purchased one and he was
Mhm.
doing an actual review. I think he had done a video some time ago talking about the fact that it was coming out, but he didn't have one yet, and now he does.
Oh,
And
okay.
right?
Okay, I have not watched that one yet. I watched it.
No.
So go
So
ahead.
let me tell you what stood out to me. The production quality
Okay.
was incredible.
Yes.
The
Thank you,
production
Skull.
quality to me, the editing, yes. If you have not watched that yet, please go give it a watch. Whether you like, I don't own a single Aqua Clear filter in my entire house. Not that I wouldn't, but I just don't. But I loved his video. I just
Yes.
thought it shows the time that he put into it. He did some testing right there for us in the video to show things like in a power outage, does it start itself back up? And he tested a few different methods, and it seems to. So yeah, I just think it is worth a few minutes watch to just go check it out because I just think it is so well done.
Yes.
I really liked it.
Mhm. Yeah. From day one of meeting Alex, I knew on the spot this guy is legit, and his quality of videos and pictures blows my mind. Uh, on the dedication he has put into it, he's good at it. And thanks, Alex, for doing that and sharing out with us about it. That's awesome. Keep it up, bro. You got this.
And Steven says cinematography is absolute pro level. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Like the shots that he took, the lighting, uh, it it was a video that Fluval should pay him for. Like it was
Yes.
that good
100%.
quality that it's like, and I think that's the point that you raise, right? Is that it makes you want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like the quality is that level that it's like this is not a hobbyist doing this is a seriously skilled individual, right?
Yeah.
And so I just I think that's Steven's exactly right. That's the thing that just grabbed my attention.
Yeah. And hey, y'all, if you can't afford to buy anything right now, equipment, but hey, please go ahead and subscribe to Alex, Father Aquatics, and nothing else. Please go subscribe to him and watch his videos. All right, that was awesome. That was awesome. Commercial. Thanks,
Yeah,
Alex.
listen, you know, Alex I don't think is a big self promoter and
He is not.
right? But I'll tell you, when I see something like that, I'm going to talk about it, right? Because I think it's noteworthy. I really do. Um, yep.
Amen, Jeff Dang.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Yep.
Flu really needs to get on it.
Mm, it was really good.
Yes.
Jeff Kane says he serviced an HVAC equipment at a local nursery. He told them he was uh, breeding tropical fish, and it blew his mind. He never gave tropical fish a thought beyond keeping them. Yeah, we don't know what people do or don't know, and so I think that's kind of one of our duties is to educate people when they're interested, right? If somebody looks at
Mm-hmm.
you and they're like, I could care less, fine. Like you're not going to get anywhere. But someone who, if they work at a place where, either they keep fish or, if it's maybe they work at one of the places that does the native fish for the area to repopulate the streams and rivers, they may not have thought about tropical fish as something that they can work with. And we all know that you can. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good whenever you can share that knowledge.
Yes. And I did just finish the poll that I put out earlier before the stream started. Did you make someone else's day better? And 67% of you said yes, and 32% said no. So it just, again, it's just awareness about your footprint, making someone else's day better. Because that is going to improve, it's going to make that footprint basically not there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Oh, and I think Life Lessons Crew, that's Melvin, right?
It's Melvin.
He said
Yeah,
hi to me.
Melvin.
Hey, Melvin.
Now I do need to watch that video of Alex, his last one.
Mm-hmm.
Because, hey, Alex, I want to be convinced of buying another one. I want to be convinced. You know what
Well,
I mean?
yeah, prepare yourself.
Okay. So, in other words, you're telling me I need to lock up my credit cards, my debit cards, my bank
Mm-hmm.
account,
I
and
would
put the
watch
key
it.
away.
I would watch it when you are prepared to purchase.
Okay, all right,
Because it's like I said, it's a really, really nice video.
all right. No, I believe it because I've seen all his other videos, and yeah, they're phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh,
Excellent.
um,
And we
and,
got Ed going at
yeah.
9:30. It's 9:23. What else you got on your list that we might not have covered?
Hey, thanks, Alex. Yeah, Alex, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid if I watch it, I'm gonna go buy that filter when I don't need it. And I mean, I'm trying to downsize, not upsize, Alex. So maybe I need to go watch it and just have an open mind
Mm-hmm.
and leave it at that. Actually, Steven, hey, anybody can do it, y'all. Anybody can make good videos. Anybody can. It just having. I mean, it might have. There's talent doing it, but anybody can do it. It's like anybody can be an artist. And it comes with a P filter. No way.
Yeah.
This is not good. I need to stay away from that video.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I would make sure that otherwise you're gonna have a pallet of those things showing up next week.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. No. And for those who don't know, there are zoos and wildlife reserves that have programs that you can become a part
Sure.
of. And hey, you can also help out at the zoos and at these
Mm-hmm.
local aquariums. Now, depending on where you're at, you might have to do a part-time job there instead of volunteering. That's one thing I found out recently. I didn't realize some my local aquarium places don't allow volunteers
Oh, isn't that interesting?
because
Okay.
the city told them if that job, if someone could be hired to the job, they can't volunteer it out.
Hmm.
Which to
Okay.
me, that's kind of sad because I would love to help out. I don't
Yeah.
want to get paid. I just want to,
Right. Yeah. Double-edged sword, right? Because then
yes,
if it is a job that needs to be done, the city is saying, "Hey, listen, let's make sure that we're paying people that maybe need the job." So
yes,
I get that. That can probably be taken a bit too far.
right,
But I like the intention behind it. The
yes,
other thing is, hey, if you live near a national park or a national forest, you can also get involved there.
yes. Hey, Mark, welcome in Power Aquatics. How you
Hey, Mark.
doing? Hey, Mark, you're kind of late, by the way. I just thought I mentioned that to you.
Don't listen to vibes. We're happy to have you, even if it is for the last few minutes, Mark. We appreciate you taking the time to come join.
Yeah. Hopefully, hey, Mark, since you're here, we, 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 we need to talk more about local collecting. You know he's local, don't you, CJ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've
He's
talked
like
about it.
a couple hours from me, but
Yep.
he's in Texas here. Yeah, we met each other a couple times now.
Different events, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, Anywho, I got a lot more on my list, but we don't have the time to talk about it. So
No, the hour and a half flew tonight, man.
okay, but there's one thing that I do want to mention quick.
Go
Uh,
for it.
Teaching the next generation to preserve
Ooh,
conservation, and
yeah.
when the next generation comes in, don't try to hold them back. Let them take that and carry it on, because new
Hmm.
ideas always keep coming in.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I'm not going to repeat what Steve Irwin always said, but he had a great way of saying it.
Hmm.
Basically, he gives that conservation to his children and let them take it and run with it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
which I don't, maybe I'm weird, but growing up, that was my TV show growing up.
Oh, I like that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I like that
I,
one
I,
too.
I, I don't planet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Yep.
used to watch that quite frequently.
And that's back before we had these things.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure was.
No.
Makes me think of the Give a Kid a Tank
Yes.
event at the Keystone Clash.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nice way to get kids into the hobby, introduce them to fish keeping, and have them walk away from the event with a setup.
Bass Pro Shops has environmental programs. Now that I did not realize, Steady. No, that's awesome. Cool.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, this topic, there's a lot more we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely needs to be a part 2.
Okay.
So, because I got quite a bit more, but some of these are deeper topics. So
we control the agenda to these things, so we can make that happen, Vibes.
Yeah. So, TJ, what else do you have for us before we get out of here?
Yeah. Thanks to everybody joining us as always. This was a lot of fun, really fun topic. I'm glad it was one that we chose to jump into. And Mariah, we miss you. We know it's a technical issue with your internet, so we know you'll be back with us next week, but it's not the same without you. And Vibes, thanks as always. I really enjoy having the opportunity to chat with you on these evenings.
Yeah, and thanks to you, TJ. Hey, for those who don't know, this Thursday Night Live would not be the same without TJ and Mariah. I couldn't. Okay, I might try to do it, but it works better when you have at least 2 people on the panel. You can bounce questions off of right there and then, instead of bouncing off of the chat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to tell you, if you're doing a live stream on a regular basis by yourself, keep doing it. I'm not trying to tell you not to stop doing it, but here's encouragement. If you can, try to find a co-host. But anyways, thanks for everyone coming out tonight. Thanks for the encouragement, the good questions, comments. And I did want to shout out Great Catfish. Thanks again for the membership, 5 members. And if you're a member and you want a Vibes Park sticker, go ahead and email me. And if I don't answer back, send it again. Or if you got my Instagram, message me on Instagram, because I will catch that. On email, there's so many emails come in that I don't always catch.
After a while, so. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And thanks to Mark Sturgeon too, the super sticker. Thanks again. Right.
And what's the hashtag?
Hashtag conservation.
Yep, hashtag conservation when you guys head on over to Ed here in right now.
Yeah. Is he live?
He will be. I don't know that he went live. Dee, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Looking forward to it.
Because I have not gotten the
notification yet.
Yet.
Doesn't look like yet. No, but I'm sure he's headed that way. Not yet. Coming up.
So that means you all have a little bit of time to go ahead and grab yourself another beverage.
Yep.
Go use the restroom. Go get something to eat. And thanks again. All right, let's wrap this up before we leave.
Yep.
I do like leaving y'all with something good. Thanks to all our members.
Yep. And good night, everybody.
Bye.